Welcome to Sister Sessions, a podcast where two sisters on very different journeys explore what it means to live spiritually in today's world. My sister, Jenny Fairbank, is the co-founder and spiritual director of Wisdom Pathways, a yoga and meditation teacher, and a somatic healer devoted to guiding others toward inner peace. And I'm Susie Gustin, a mom of three, producer and owner of Red City Live Entertainment, embracing life's joys while searching for deeper meaning. Together, we have honest, relatable conversations about finding balance, purpose, and connection in everyday life. So settle in. You are exactly where you need to be. Welcome to Sister Sessions. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sister Sessions, where we get divine and real. My name is Susie Gustin, and I am the co-host here with my sister, Jenny Fairbank.
Hello, everyone. Hi, sister.
Hello. Well, today, as you can see, we do have a very beautiful face sitting with us here at Sister Sessions, and I will get right into it. Today, we are honored to welcome someone very special. Not only an incredible transformational speaker, coach, and author, but also a dear friend of Jenny's. Case Erickson is a guide for soul-driven leaders who are ready to stop shrinking and start living authentically. After his own journey through addiction, heartbreak, financial chaos, and religious trauma, Case has built a life of resilience, humor, and profound wisdom. He's the author of Coming Out by Going In, and his upcoming book, Shrink for No One, How to Quit Playing Small and Create a Life You Love, is already inspiring so many people to embrace their fullest selves. Tiffany Harlick, author and founder of Spellbound Publishers, calls him a blue jean Buddha. And poet and artist Russell Colo says Case is a sweet wonder who has written a book that will save lives. Case's work blends spiritual principles with practical tools, helping leaders move beyond fear, shame, and judgment into a life of alignment and joy. Please welcome our fabulous guest, Case Erickson.
Aw,
Yay!
thank you.
You're so welcome. We're so excited to have you here. And as I mentioned to our listeners, you and Jenny are dear friends.
Yes. And I met you briefly at the Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And we also met way back when Jenny had her 40th birthday party.
Oh, yes. Yes,
We did have a run in there as well. So we've had two fun parties of Jenny celebrating life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did we play favorites at that? Did I ask you if you wanted to play favorites? You too?
I don't think so.
Oh. Would you like to play favorites really quickly? I know, like, you're the question people.
Oh, no, do it. Well, go ahead. What do you have for us?
Okay, Susie, let me see. Who do I want to start with? Susie or Jenny? Jenny or Susie? Jenny. Okay, so sidebar, this is a good thing to do if you ever go to a party or social event single, which is my jam. Like, and you notice either couples or family member, like anybody, it's like a way to get to know the people without necessarily like getting people to open up. You get to discover a little something about the other person. So Jenny, tell me, what is your favorite thing or things about Susie?
Oh, wow. So many. One of my absolute favorite things about Susie is her immense way of bringing joy to everything. Like, she's so joyful and lighthearted, laughs a lot. And I love that she can turn it back to herself. She cracks herself up all the time, and I love that.
Love that.
So even if no one else is laughing, she is.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That's very true.
Okay. Soul sister, Susie, you and I have something in common already because I'm glad I can entertain myself. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, Susie, what's your favorite thing about Jenny?
Oh my goodness. Her light and her energy, she lights up. Okay, wait, no. I have to say, it's everything. But one of my favorite things is introducing Jenny to someone for the first time because I can't lift her up enough I'm like, you just have to meet her. Like and then I feel like I'm just so proud. Like I just push her, like, see, there it is. And then they're always overwhelmed. And I'm like, I told you she was amazing. Like I love bragging about her and then like showing her off. It's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yeah. It's
You're so
true. It's true. It's like the
Yeah.
Oracle. You just have to like, yeah, just put her somewhere and just let people experience the thing.
Okay, well, now I'm going to throw you into the loop. Jenny, what is one of your favorite things about Case?
Oh my
Ah,
gosh. Oh my gosh. He makes me laugh, like belly laugh hysterically. If I ever need to just laugh, I'll just call Case. Because we will literally say, we won't even say hello, we'll just start laughing. We don't even say hi.
Oh
Because
my
his
goodness.
energy makes me giggle. It's my favorite.
same, same. I
Well,
mean,
you know what?
sometimes we're like, if you pick up the phone, I'm like, is it, can I, like, we don't finish the sentence.
Right.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you, from all that Jenny talks about that's what I get, is that you're just so much fun, always laughing, always, bright energy. So, you wrote these books and you talk about addiction and heartache and financial chaos. Where has humor played in that transformation of healing for you? Has it played a big role? Or do you kind of downplay the humor when you're going through something?
I would say I think that finding humor in everything, it's almost like the ridiculousness is the humor for me. Like, I think when I was talking to Jenny about we were having some insight, and I was just like, I mean, the self-righteousness. And it was like my realization of like my own stuff, like the ridiculousness of having to be right, and like the amount of suffering that comes from this drive a stake into the ground and I'm right and you're wrong, and like how much suffering is like born from that energetic entity that is self-righteousness. And I just said it and we just both started cracking up because it's it's just ridiculous. It's everything is ridiculous, but I think that I'm able to sort of navigate the lighter side because of my willingness to go into the depths, like go into the depths. It's like, okay, like we're just gonna put on this grief blanket really quick and go into the darkness and go into, and not like not run from the darkness, but also not stay in it like a curse, rather an exploration into the depths of the abyss of the ocean, where there's just stillness and solitude. And for me it's been about a lot of suppressed self-expression. So I learned from my last relationship, I was just grieving all over the place. I mean, Jenny can tell you, I mean, she's, God bless her, she's, she's like one of these friends who's like, and she's not one of the only friends who got into like intervention mode with me, because these friends are like, this is not healthy, what you're doing right now is not healthy. So I did a lot of what I call addiction transfer. So I've sober from alcohol about over 7 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But my previous relationship was very much high low dopamine addiction, the cycle, and then this grief and this experience of abandonment and rejection, and like all these deep old ancient ancestral wound stuff that was coming up because of my childhood and the religious trauma and the things that said, this is what a good boy does, this is what a Baptist does, this all the rules, all the right, this is right, this is wrong, all these things, sit down, be quiet, oh, all that was squashed in me, that came up on account of my last relationship. So giving myself permission to grieve, giving myself permission to feel, is what I feel allows for, like, whatever the feeling is. Like, there's no like, oh, I'm sad and that's wrong. No, it's just a feeling.
Mhm.
meditation practice that I do, and Jenny was a beautiful example of that. I'm probably close to 90 days of meditating an hour a day.
So yes, I know this. Jenny has been very proud of you. She's shared it with me. Case is still doing it. He's still doing it. So for all the listeners, can we just let them in on what we're talking about here? What you're doing with meditation?
Yeah, one of my mentors said, and Jenny's told me this for a long time, but it's kind of like everybody's a little kernel of
Little
popcorn,
piece,
and we
sure.
just like pop off whenever. We don't know what's gonna set us off, but we're all like in that little pan of Jiffy Pop, like, what am I gonna do? Um, but one of my other mentors said, if you want to change your life, commit to meditating an hour a day for 30 days straight. And I was just like, this is probably like 3, 4 months ago. And I was just like, yeah, I'm ready. I'd meditated usually around 17 minutes, 17 to 20, was my time before. And so, and I didn't commit to, I was like, oh, I'm going to commit to 40 because I like to, just make things like extra Jesus-y and biblical. I'm like, 40 is more magical than 30. So I did 40. And I'm really glad that I did because I saw a lot of insights and downloads and visions. And I mean, I have experience with different psychedelic medicines and things like that as well. And meditation has by far just been that like that connection point, that connecting to myself, that just like the real deal. It's almost like I got to experience the real deal so that in my experience and connecting to it and not necessarily it's just trying to explain what water is to someone who's never swam, and so getting into that point of connecting to the real deal and that connection and that like I became willing to let go of anything that wasn't that. So it was like no more substitutes, no more, I'm certainly not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it has just been such an invaluable tool for me to really navigate life because my life as an entrepreneur, as a father, as all these things where I'm just like, what's happening? Oh, I'm going to hang out with Jenny and we're going to go do this. And, there's a lot, Alan Watts calls it, I believe, the wisdom of insecurity or the wisdom of uncertainty, one of his books. Is it insecurity? I think it's insecurity.
I think it's insecurity.
Yeah, but just like the nature of being alive
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
comes with just this inherent sense of terror. And what are we doing? Who are we? What?
Yep.
How do we die? When do we die? We all, this planet doesn't let any of us out alive. And so, finding that center and finding that core for me to be able to navigate the complexities of life has just been really, really essential. So now it's like something is off when I don't do it.
Okay. And so can you share with us, is your ritual same time every day, same spot every day, or do you mix it up?
I mix it up. And so I had a really beautiful, I love nature, but I'm down here in Austin and so, or south of Austin. So, I mean, it gets hot, uh, just painfully hot. So if you don't get out there before like 9, you're going to roast. I like to do it first thing. So either, in my room or outside. I'm a big naturist, nature, just put me on a rock like a lizard and I'm happy. But yeah, like if I don't, I'm fine to do it like in my room inside if it's quiet. I started off years ago, probably close to 10 years ago with guided meditations. And
Mm-hmm.
I think Deepak Chopra has a lot of them that you can do guided and online there's some guided ones and then binaural beats and different static noises and things like that. But now I've gotten to the point where it's just me and the silence.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm so excited for you around this. And I was so thrilled to hear your journey around it. And even really truly seeing you differently. Like your energy is different.
I
And
was actually just going to ask you that, Jenny. What is like, how have you firsthand seen this transformation?
well, I just got to spend some quality time with my man because he came to visit us. And I said it to my husband, Dave, before Case came, because we've known Case for over a decade. And we know how Case is, and Dave loves Case. And he's like, we laugh so much with him. And I said to Dave, well, Case has been meditating for like 30 days or whatever it was at that point. And I think he's shifted. Like I can feel even in our conversations, there's a difference. And Dave was like, oh, like kind of excited to see what it was going to be like through you. And it was so refreshing. I mean, you're still you and your beautiful self, but there's this like soft, I want to say like a drop in. You're like more dropped in and more centered than you used to be. You used to be a lot more external, right? And out there. And now you're more in here. You're more
Right.
in here than out there. And that has been such a beautiful expression of yourself. And I think the most authentic actually that you have ever been. Because Case is really big on authenticity, and I value that so much in him because he wants to be as authentic as possible and wants other people, of course, to show up as authentic as possible and not be afraid to. And I think when you're with your meditation practice, it has drawn you to your inner core of who you really are authentically, not the external, the physicalness of Case, but actually the soul of you.
Yeah.
So I love that.
It's definitely been a journey for sure. I mean, life in general, and then also learning, I'll say discovering that authenticity, right? Because for me, it was, oh, everybody talks about authenticity and authentic, what I'm like, but like authentic to what?
Yep.
Authentic to our ego, our programming, the performance loop that says we have to be a certain version of ourselves to get validation and approval and a stamp of whatever we're looking for that day, or authentic to what you're talking about, which is that divine soul can't even put it into words. As soon as I use words, it ceases to be that which it is thing. Like I had this vision and this download during a meditation where I felt the core of me connect to the sun. It's like the seeds, right? This consciousness that's in seeds or acorns or tree or whatever.
Yes, I love this
Like
comparison.
yeah, like what is that that causes the seed to do its thing, to break
And you
apart?
can't force it.
Just
You
it's
can't
doing
force
its
it.
thing, but it's like surrounded by darkness. It's surrounded by what I refer to as the soil of our soul. Just because it's dark doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that there's nourishment, there's quiet. It's our cave time. But like, what is it in the seed? It's the sun. Like it is the actual sun. Like everything comes from the sun, the consciousness, the awareness, the intelligence. So it's like this journey of connection where it's the sun is actually reaching for the seed they're reaching for each other. And it was like I was like I don't even know where I went. I ceased to be a person in that moment because and then I started sobbing and it was beautiful. But I mean, and I've had like so many other instances like that in that time because I think that it was like this I matter, we matter, all this matters, but like connecting to myself to discover in a real experiential way who I am at my core.
That's like authenticity in action.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, shit, now why am I doing blankety blank? And why am I doing blankety blank? I gotta clean this shit up. Now it's like, oh, well, sometimes I feel like I want my money back, but that's okay. I'm like, I did not order this, and God's like, yes, you did, honey. Here you go.
Oh my God, I
Here's your
love
gem,
that.
sweetheart. Sweet, sweet.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so
That
So
is so
true.
funny.
it's like,
So when you wrote your first book, what drew you to say, I want to write a book. Like, it's time and I want to do it, and this is it. I'm writing a book.
I just started pouring my guts out on Facebook, and a lot of the comments were like, you should write a book. Do you have a book? Is this from a book? So it was more just like feedback that I was getting from people where I was like, oh yeah, like, I really like writing. Like, let me lean into that. And then I was like, well, if I wrote a book, what would it be? I don't know what I'd be. I don't know how it would go. I don't know. I don't know what story. Oh, I would tell this story. And so like, I just started telling stories online, and that's how the book was written. And I didn't have an order. It was just get this baby out of me kind of a thing. And I didn't even know how it would end. And then through that journey, my father passed away. And so it became this beautiful father wound healing arc for me. And like that whole trajectory and that whole journey, and like it ends with, fly, daddy bird fly. My dad was a navigator, flew F4s for the Marines, lieutenant colonel. And so, getting to the point where, right, like reconciling myself to my own father, my own internal father, my own internal child, all that stuff. Once he passed, and I had this, the last chapter was, when I shared at his funeral, and I can't even remember what I shared. I was just like in the flow state. My brother was going to share something. No, I had an idea of what I was going to share. My older brother got up and he shared what I was going to share. And so I was like, it's just like an older brother. Now what? And so I was just like, I don't even know what I'm gonna share. Maybe I'll share what I wrote on Facebook that morning. But like, so I just started sharing from the heart. I can't even remember. I was just talking about like my message of like forgiveness and reconciliation and love. And I'm like, keep in mind, I'm in a Southern Baptist church in Virginia, which is not a safe place for people like me I'll say on the rainbow spectrum. Being in the queer family, like that's not a safe place. It's not an affirming place. It's not an all are welcome place. Even though I'm like, y'all do know Jesus's whole thing was like all are welcome. Did y'all miss that memo? That whole like there's plenty of room at the table thing? I mean, what's going on? Anyway, that's a whole other thing. So for me to give myself permission to be fully self-expressed in that space, I believe was a testament to just God's grace, my healing, whatever you want to call it. But I was just kind of sharing from the heart. And Susie, like I think I've told this to Jenny before, but people, I got people started clapping at the end of like my share. I'm like, who claps at a funeral? Like, who does that?
When they're inspired, when they feel,
When they're
you
in
know,
spirit, like I was just like everyone's just like ah like, and I was just like I tell that story and I'm like that was not me, that was like God in me, that was like I was in spirit, I was in flow because I didn't even know, like I had to ditch my plan.
Yeah.
I ditched the plan and God's like, hello, that's the point, why are you clinging to the plan? Ditch it, it's better, my way's better. It's cute that you think you know what you're doing.
yes.
So, at what point in your life do you think you found your voice?
Every day, because it's different. I'm like every day is different.
Yeah.
Every day is like, okay, this is what I'm doing today, this is what my voice looks like today. And my point with the story, a veteran came up to me after the share at my father's saying, and he had tears in his eyes, and he shows me this picture of his daughter, and he's like, this is my daughter, my grown daughter, I haven't talked to her for 3 years, and I just hope my father, or that she forgives me the way that you forgave your father. And I was just like, it was just such a beautiful like God moment for me, because it wasn't even about whatever his daughter was going to do or not do. It was his vulnerability in that to even share. You've got this big, tall, gruffy veteran who's crying about his daughter, and he just, like, the love, that's just what the love does. And the love just like lets go. Because he wasn't like, I can't believe my daughter does this and da 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 da. He just shared from the heart, you know?
Mhm.
And so that's what inspires me to do more of sharing from the heart, writing from the heart, living from the heart. That's why I love Jenny's, being witness to Jenny's journey and the soul pod. I'm like,
I know.
do you even know, like, okay, I have to, Susie, do you have experience in like, what's your background for like religious stuff? I don't, you grew up Catholic? I can't remember how y'all
We
grew up.
did. We grew up Catholic. We went to Catholic school K through 12, but none of us continued to be follow Catholicism.
Okay, like
No.
mine was like hardcore evangelical. Like the reason for existing is to save the world. Like everybody's going to hell unless you pray the magical prayer. And then, but your job in life is to save everyone else. No, no pressure. I'm like, that's like the textbook definition of codependent. I'm like, this
Which is terrible.
evangelicalism is like legit codependency. It's
Let
codependent.
me tell you, it will steal your soul because I tried to save my ex-husband and it was stealing my soul like every single day. And I thought I was doing God's work.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for him.
I mean,
That's
but
for
I
him.
was in the bubble. I mean, I had Christian private school I went to, church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, chapel once a week, Bible class every day. My mother worked for televangelist Pat Robertson. I went to Liberty University, Jerry Falwell. I served on the ministry team. I was like the drama guy for drama, drama geeks for Jesus. I mean, I was in it. And so I have to tell you, Jenny, I haven't told you this.
What?
You're hearing it here first, Sister Sessions. Hearing it here first.
No, but like there's this, the
We love a
culture.
good reveal.
It's this Christian, not all Christians. I don't have it out for all. I'm not. I'm like, look, everybody's welcome at the table, right? So I love me some Jesus, okay, but just the religion of it's just the culture and just this bubble and all the things. So there's these books that they came out with, and when I read them in high school, and they were really big in the '90s, called "This Present Darkness" and "Piercing the Darkness." And so the whole premise is like everything in our world is controlled by either angels or demons. And if it's Christian, it's angelic. If it's not Christian, it's demonic. So there's this whole thing about all these channelers being possessed by Satan.
Wow.
And so, like, this is, and I was just like, I started laughing because I haven't talked to my mom since I saw your video. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited because I talked to you after.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited because I'm just like, when you and I talked after, and I'm just all about like, own it. Just own
Yeah.
it. Own it. Let go. This is it. You're in the flow. Let's go. Out of the shell, all the things. And I'm so excited for like, your journey because I know who you are at the core is about surrendering into the same stuff. It's all the same goo,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know? It's all love and it's all like so now I get to reconcile those parts of myself, those parts of my past, those parts that still exist in my mom because she still goes to these places
Mhm.
where this culture is upheld. And I get it,
Mhm.
it's all to feel safe.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
that's been my latest of like, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to know personally a channeler. Like, I think we're all channels, for sure.
We are.
But like what you're doing, like, is its own. So, like, I've been a big devotee of like Abraham Hicks and Bashar and all these other
Mhm.
things. But I remember growing up, like, this was this was.
The
The
devil. Oh,
devil's work.
It was like Ramtha and all these things. I mean, it was like
yeah.
this is what is required to keep everybody in control, because it was a high control religion, a high control culture, and everyone else is wrong and we're right.
Yep.
So now as a grown man coming into this space of, I'll say, authentic self-expression, but also seeing ways in which the queer community has, like, you hurt me, you're wrong, like they're being, so I get to bring the message of Christ, which is love your enemies, to the Christians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is interesting.
Wow.
But I told my mom, I said, Mom, I identify with Christ so much more now ever since leaving the church. Because
Yes.
who are the people that marginalize me and ostracize me and tell me I'm a leper and tell me I'm all the people who claim to follow God? That was Christ's whole jam. And so, like,
Yeah.
she's like, well, da 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 da. It's a very
It's mind
interesting time to be alive. Is what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
Is it not? It is the most interesting time to be alive. And that I can even come out as a channel and not be burned at the stake or stoned to death.
well, yeah,
You
this is
know?
what they did. Like, it was just misinformation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And based all on fear, fear of the unknown, and that can't be real. And it's all okay. Everybody has their right to their opinion, right? I mean, that has been, we've spoken about all this. It's letting go. I have this surrender and trust, right? That I am allowing my highest energy to flow through me so that I can help other people. That's the end
Yeah.
of story,
Well,
So, yeah.
I mean, and
Yeah.
I had to actually, I got a deeper level of faith when I gave up my Christianity.
100%.
Because in order to give up my Christianity, I had to face, like, God's wrath, because it was always like every summer camp. I swear I got saved every summer camp around the bonfire just to make sure, because I was touching myself too much. God's gonna get me for pleasuring myself. But like this fear based, and I mean in college too, like I worked, it was called Scaremare, and it was a haunted house where every room was like a death room. So it was, how are you gonna, like, car crash? One room was like a car crash, and another room was like a suicide with a note, and it was all like, it's so dramatic, right? And so I was in the alien abduction room. I played an alien, shocker. But they literally shuffled everyone before you could leave the house, the big haunted house. They went into a tent, and they gave you the "Do you know where you're going to go when you die" speech.
Wow.
So the foundation of the quote unquote salvation message was fear.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Constantly. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me to be willing to, like, face the fear, the thing that I most was afraid of, to be like, you know what, this is okay. If this is, I don't want any part of this program that says I'm gonna get it or else. Like, and certainly having children of my own helped me navigate a little bit more of that parental love energy of, like, unconditional love and things like that. But yeah, navigating that and just coming into the space of true unconditional love is a daily practice. Daily practice.
How do you move through fear when it comes up?
Breath.
What advice can you give? Can you give some advice to our listeners?
Yeah, breath, 100%. Breath, breathing. What I've noticed too, because it's not always, fear's not the enemy. A lot of times fear can be excitement without the breath. Like butterflies before we go on stage, or butterflies before we do a thing, or like before a first date or somebody we really like. Oh, it's, fear can be that. Fear can be like coming to the edge of something before you bungee jump or you skydive or you do something that it's not a fear no. So there's a distinction that I've learned between fear yes and fear no. And so coming out of our comfort zone, coming out of the, pushing our wings out at the edges of the cocoon, right? Like, oh, I don't want to, like, that feels scary. Our brain kind of like does the gerbil wheel thing. And that's what the breath for me is, gives me access to move my consciousness out of the monkey mind and into my heart space. And so, like, because it's like the heart doesn't know fear. The heart's like, what? What do you? That's cute. What do you mean?
So you're saying like a fear, yes, would be something like a choice. Like I'm going on stage tonight. I'm choosing to go on this first date. I'm jumping out of an airplane because I've always wanted to. That would be like a fear, yes. Can you give me an example of a fear, no?
Oh gosh. Going into an environment, like for me, it's like going into an environment where there's lots of drinking and drugs. I'm like, I don't. That's a no. Like I'm like, I'm not safe. That's like a, my body's protecting me for a reason. It's not you need to go here, and this is like an authentic fit versus not a fit kind of a thing. Whenever you get like, this is a lot of, you get the intuitive hit that something's not right. Women
Yes.
get it more than men, I think, because they're more tapped in,
Yeah.
and just the culture in general makes you that way in a way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think there's more. I do a lot of muscle testing, if you're familiar with, muscle testing for the, because our bodies know, like, you kind of just you say the statement and your body is stronger with a true statement
Mhm.
versus, and then you push against, like, okay, my name is Case, that's strong, my name is George, it kind of goes down. And so that's
Mhm.
what muscle test, and I think it's Bruce Lipton talks about it a lot, and
Yep.
also David Hawkins in Power
Yep.
versus Force.
That's really interesting. I like that
And
whole.
then if you stand, a lot of times, like, it's a yes, it kind of pulls
Mhm.
from this space, or it like kind of pushes away. So that's, I lean into that.
The
Mm-hmm.
body
Mm-hmm.
talks. Yep.
Yes. The hips don't lie.
And that's right. Oh my gosh. I
No,
want to ask you, Susie, you have a
no,
question.
no, go. Yeah.
I want to go into a little bit of this whole thing because I know your story and the trauma, religious trauma that you've experienced and the challenges that you've faced. And then you come to this place where you have forgiven. Forgiveness has been so big for you. And I want you to talk about that because I think it's really important for people to hear the power of forgiveness in your life specifically because of so much that has happened for you. And so many people would say, yeah, I can see why you feel the way you do, and you're angry and you're resentful and all the things, and you have a right to be that way. And you have turned that whole ship around to say, you know what, I'm forgiving, I am letting go, I see it, I've grown. How have you done that? Big question, I know. But seriously, that's huge for people because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have had so very much trauma in their lives,
Yeah.
and forgiveness is so difficult to forgive your oppressor or your abuser, whatever it is. And to be able to really truly do that from your heart is so freeing. So I just want you to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that if you would.
Yeah, it's almost like people who feel that life has failed them so many times that they just give up on trying. And you
Yeah.
clearly have not given up. You're thriving. Your energy is just beautiful.
Wow. Well, thank you. Yeah, there's been an inherent sense of persistence that I don't know if is ignorant, or, I mean, to me, there's an element of delusion that's required for anyone on a faith journey. Faith meaning you believing in something other than yourself, but like you are it, but you're not it, but you're what is this? I don't know. But like this desire to have a relationship with something bigger, even if
Mhm.
it's my own internal power or own internal. So I've had varying degrees of experiences where at the core, I don't believe I'm here to experience pain constantly. I don't believe that. I believe, Buddha talks about this, like all of life is suffering, right? Like I believe that pain is inevitable, but suffering sometimes is optional, meaning I have the choice. Am I going to, shove this crown of thorns down on top of my forehead so that everybody can see me, everyone in the back can see me bleeding like forever? Or am I going to acknowledge ways in which certain patterns and things, my behavior or my life do not work for me, and question and get curious and like, what am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I believing? What's happening? I remember I read some book, I can't remember the author, but it was called Radical Forgiveness.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, and I'd heard stuff like Oprah talk about, not forgiving someone is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to, die or whatever. And so I had heard these things, but I believe that when someone is hurt so much, so frequently, so repeatedly, and this is the thing too, like, yes, I can forgive, and yes, forgiveness is, like all the things, and there are still injustices going on
Mm-hmm.
in the name of Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To include like a suicide rate amongst the LGBTQ community that's 30% higher than our heterosexual counterparts. And
Mm.
so to me, the core of that comes from a rejection of self, judgment of self, condemnation of like, you're unworthy, you're wrong, you're like all the stuff that I grew up with. So for me to navigate, okay, like I forgive my mother, I forgive my father, they're doing their, but then to also, okay, like, all right, there is that part of me that's like the table flipping Jesus in the temple, like, no, all y'all get out. Y'all have like people are dying, like a World Trade Center a year worth of suicides just from the queer community. I mean, the statistics are like 1 million people a year commit suicide. So I mean, these mental health issues. Yeah, I was just watching. I learned that on there's this really, if you like, Jenny, you would like this too. It's called group therapy. It's like comedians sitting around in like it's like comedy meets real mental health conversation.
Ooh, that
Whoa.
sounds good.
So my vision is like, okay, this is, how do I show up as the person to provide the light, to provide the hope, to provide the like, hey, don't give up, hey,
Yeah.
it gets better. Because I always saw these it gets better ads from people who like came out, and I was like, I came out and it did not get better. It didn't, it just got
No.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Where do you get all of this motivation and all of the the drive to keep going and stay positive and help others throughout the journey of the lessons that you're learning? Like, where does that come from, you think?
I don't, I'm like, it's just a God thing, maybe. I don't know. Like, I've always been the little kid in like kindergarten. I was dancing like a little snowman on stage. If they had video cameras back then, they'd be like, spot the queer kid. Oh, he's the one on the end, like shaking his booty. Like, I just love spreading whatever message there is for me to spread. So,
He was born this way, as the short answer. This is who he is
yeah.
inherently.
And so
You're just
Yeah.
born
like,
that way. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think there's also, I had to reconcile myself from this, like, so much of my past that I absorbed. It's like distinguishing what's a pattern versus what's a program versus what can we change versus who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Mm-hmm.
ways in which, my religious programming, there was the religiosity component, but there was also the positive component, which I feel like I've taken, like this relationship. Oh, I can have a relationship with the invisible thing. That
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel kind of crazy sometimes, but it's fine. It's okay. Like, I have to live with me. And if I'm cool with me and the goo and I'm talking to whoever the aliens, I'm like, pull up your popcorn. Like now it's like grandma. Grandma's up there with her big cigarette. She's like, oh, girls, grab your popcorn. This one's good. You know, I take what works for me to give me that sense of peace.
Yeah.
And also like, okay, I'm here for transformation. I'm here for growth. I'm here for connection. I'm here for laughter. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, God.
How do you balance
Ah.
being a teacher and a student? Like you literally have this like way of being both. How do you balance that? At what point does your hat?
I don't think you can be either or.
Yeah, I think you're both.
You're
Just
always
naturally.
both. You're
You're,
always,
yeah,
I mean, everybody is
everybody.
both. It's like that's, I think it's Gandhi who says, no man is your friend, no man is your enemy, every man is your teacher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So we are each other's teachers, we are each other's guides, you know, we're all just, I think it's the Rumi saying, we're all just leading each other home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, that willingness to always learn, to never, like, I want to be the dumbest one in the room, please.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that I want all the stuff to rub off on me. What, years ago when I lost my house, I had, you know, this time where I lost my bit, it was COVID, I lost my festival production business, I lost the house, and the kids had to go back with the mom for a little bit, and I'm just kind of like couch surfing, trying to get my feet back on the ground. And my kid, I was still hanging out with my kids, bringing them to where, so I'm house sitting, I'm dog sitting, I'm doing whatever, I'm still hanging out with my kids, I'm bringing them to wherever I am as much as possible. And so they were kind of experiencing a little bit of all my friends and places and where my friends lived, and my kids were like, Dad, are all your friends rich? I was like, yes. So I'm the next one. No, but that's true. You know, it's true in terms of like the level of abundance. So I'm a big, you know, kind of like abundance mindset, scarce, nothing fear. Like the fear, oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh. And Jenny can tell you this too. Like that's why she was laughing when I let out that big like, that's what Jenny and I do. Like she saw me so many times when I was like in it, like in it. Oh. And so
Wait, I want to do it.
Everyone do it.
you just have to like it gets,
Take it
we
off.
can get bored. You
Wait, I
know,
want to do it.
my dad
Shake it off.
died of brain cancer.
Yeah.
He had a stroke and was dead 4 months later because he had so many tumors they could not even count them. And I am convinced. No, I tell people, I was like, we get along great now that he's he agrees with me, he never talks back, he's my number one cheerleader. Oh my God, me and Dad are like this. But my point with him was like like he suppressed everything.
Yes.
He suppressed everything. So I'm convinced that what you suppress gets stored somewhere.
1,000%.
Got you. Yeah.
So
You
that is
cannot.
why I'm just like a little bit much when it comes to like moving the body, moving the energy, moving all the everything.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is so very important right there, because this is why it is so vital that we take care of our consciousness, that
Yes.
we don't hold regrets, that we don't hold on to anger, that we don't hold on to the stuff that happened to us, right? The trauma, all the things. You have to work through it, because it does
Yeah.
not go away by ignoring it. It festers and grows and builds, and it then it creates that is your consciousness. And then that's your filter through life. Everything is filtered through trauma. And you don't want a trauma filter. You want a loving filter. You want a peaceful filter. And you have to make that happen. No one can do that for you.
No.
Yeah.
You have to move that energy out and release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self, Case?
Oh.
Oh, We need another hour for that.
No, I've noticed a really big shift within the past week and a half. And I think, Jenny, I talked to you since I hired the coach for stage leaders and getting my keynote hammered down and speaker bio and sell sheet and one sheet and like doing all the things. I remember sitting in the thing and sitting in the little sales pitch or whatever you want to call it and telling myself like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. I just need to do it. Like, I already know this. I just need to do it. I just need to do it. I already know this. I just need to do it. And it was just like, blah, blah, blah. And then God was like, yeah, but you haven't yet done it. And the reason I hadn't done it is because I was still living from that traumatized self that didn't truly believe in myself. I was putting my faith in other people with more money, of relationships, all these things of like, I can't do it on my own with me, God, higher power, whatever. I can't do it. Like, but it was just so very clear to me. I got like that fear. Yes. Like I was nervous and, you don't want to buy the thing. And then you're like, oh, I have to put all this money in. No. But like also very clear that my heart was a yes. So my heart was a yes. The brain was a no. And then, kind of getting back and I kind of like just said, yes, I'm doing this. This is happening. And then like I started seeing the patterns of all the ways in which I had created from a scarce space. So my food truck festivals, it was all like trying to prove, oh, nobody else is doing it. Like it's a market opportunity, like a brain. When I say scarce space, I mean brain space, like a fear brain. This is what makes sense. So here's what I'm going to create versus like creating from a heart space. So I had food truck festival. I did festivals and events, and I did commercial real estate, residential real estate. I owned restaurants. I opened 3 restaurants. And so I've had all these things in my past where it was all like mental constructs of this is what I'm going to do because this makes market sense, or this makes, it was all ego. And so I kept going, rewind, all the way back to when I was like 19. Of like the last time where I feel like I started this trajectory of self-betrayal. And then coming back to trusting myself is where, so that's why I was like, okay, coming back to that 19-year-old self of like, trust yourself, trust God, go where you want to go, do what you want to do. It's okay. Your parents are the ones who said there's not enough money for blankety blank. God knows not. God's like, oh, that's cute. You're going to come down to the ocean with a thimble and ask for water. Okay. Like, so that is, I'm not necessarily telling my younger self anything, but I'm reconciling myself to that version of myself that no longer betrays himself as much as possible. Because the pain of self-betrayal, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I noticed the patterns in my previous relationship with a dude was very much like the same betrayal of self that I had with a wife. I had a wife for 14 years. So it's like, oh, I came out and then I have a dude and then we're engaged, but then the same, oh, I got to be a certain version of myself to get approval or to get validation or to, get on, daddy's good side. And I mean, all this stuff.
Wow.
Coming back to like capital T, trust.
Yes.
You know what I hear though? So like constantly with everything that you're saying is that it appears that you're constantly checking in and listening. And that is where your growth is. That's what I see just from listening to your story, is that you make it kind of clear to us that you are constantly checking in with you and listening to yourself, which has then taken you to the next level. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, and I think that ties into the meditation. Like, I wouldn't know what a check-in was if it weren't for being willing to sit with what I consider myself.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not even myself. It's like Is it though? Like you just that's just shut up for a minute. Like, can you give us all an hour? Like an hour. Like so when people say now, like, oh my God, an hour, it's so long, it's so long. Oh, like you'll sit and watch 2 or 3 episodes of a TV show. You'll sit on like an hour is not that long. Oh, I'll drive myself crazy. I drive myself crazy. Like, really? Are you that terrified of yourself?
Yes, a lot of people are,
Maybe
quite
that's what
frankly.
we need to sit with.
Exactly. It's
And
exactly
then
what
to
we need.
discover like what you discover, and you're like, oh. But
Mhm.
yeah,
I will tell you, listeners, if you haven't started meditating before, this has got to be getting you.
it's
You are
Let's
keeping
hope.
it real. You are keeping it real.
yeah.
I mean, you're saying all the things about being a meditator whose mind is just like, ah, and the reality of being real and stepping inside and what it feels like and what it looks like and what it sounds like. It's not just like the ohm sound.
Oh
you
no.
may
No,
you may get to
No.
that, of course, but that is not where you're going to be when
no,
you start meditating.
no.
Yeah, and Jenny talked about this on one of your last sessions when she said after the thing and it came out and she did the little, our gerbil wheel mind, the monkey mind, it's always going to do its thing. And so meditation just allows the practice of getting some space. So we don't identify with the
Right.
hamster. Like
Right.
the hamster isn't us. The hamster's just the hamster. And so it's like, are we going to let the hamster run our lives? Like a lot of people are, or they're inoculating the hamster. They're
Yes.
drugging up,
Oh.
they're medicating the hamster. I mean, there's so many things you can do with a hamster, but like
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
like I think through love and like I like that meditation is like, okay, you can share. You can share.
Mhm.
I hear you. What's the fear? What are
Mhm.
you afraid of? It's okay. We are held. Like it's
Mhm.
just a practice. I mean, I'm always in it. This week I have a little acronym for focus, which is free, open, centered, unbothered, and still.
Nice.
Love that.
And so that's what I'm like, focus. And so I think it's just a practice of, and then listening to my body, knowing like when the gerbil does its thing and then the body reacts to the thing. And then I realize like, oh, this is very much like me drawing a picture of a monster and then looking at the monster and being like, ah! Like I'm scared of the picture I just drew
I
myself.
love that. Oh my gosh.
It's
Oh my gosh.
lunacy. Oh, the monster I drew. Oh. Really? That's cute.
I want to say that again, what you said, because I love this. Focus. Free, open, centered,
Unbothered,
unbo- unbothered,
unbothered, and still.
and still. I
It's
love
the
it. You always come up with
unbothered.
these acronyms. I
It's
love
the
your
it's
acronyms.
the unbothered. I know that's my mom's part. She was a teacher, so I'm always like, "How this needs to be an acronym for us before we can continue." Um, she,
I
but
love
it's
it.
the unbothered that's been really like, okay.
That's huge. That word is in of itself is huge. When you're in meditation, to just be unbothered by what's happening, what's going on, like you're just observing and you're still. And you're just observing and then you're separating just a little bit, watching that ego going off, watching it go, and you're not bothered and you bring it back as soon as you can, right? Just to come and stay, be here, focus. Yeah, it's such an incredible experience to really sit with yourself in this way and to allow yourself to just simply be with what is. There's a practice of just being with what is, accepting with where you are in the moment, and that, yeah, wow, my mind is going berserk, or I'm going down these, I'm so negative. What is going on? I'm feeling all that. Like, okay, that's what's happening right now. It's all okay. It's that acceptance of what is, and then working with it gently and carefully, because we have to work with that ego. We don't want to just run amok all over us, right? We have to deal with it. We need to work with it. We need to almost befriend it. It's not about, people love to say, oh, that ego, and I hate my ego. Do not, please do not.
No.
It's part of who you are in this life. It is why it's your personality in this life. It's your physical, your mental, emotional, your material side, almost, you want to say, and it's there and has a purpose, but we are needing to transcend the attachments that, it's attachment to it that causes us the suffering.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm noticing in my journey now is coming into what you said, like being gentle.
Yeah.
Because we were not gentle in my house. So I receive a lot of that lack of compassion for myself. Right? Like I can be very compassionate for everybody else. When it comes to me, oh, Dad's not dead. He is alive and well. He is like militant. The judgment, the shame. I should have this. I should know this. I should be somewhere other than where I am. Why am I not, like the constant judge? And that's just like, that's the teenage version of our ego, I think. I think they're just different versions of our ego.
Yeah.
So I like to bring them all back through gratitude. Okay, thank you. I hear you. Thank you for getting me this far. Thank you. I mean, I survived. I mean, like that part of ourselves that didn't know what we didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like my 8-year-old self wasn't like, Mom, my mom has unprocessed trauma from her unwed pregnancy when she was 17, and she just married the first thing with pants, and now she's burying her resentment, and she's taking it out on her father, and she's crying all the time, and I know she's going to impart her sadness into me, so I'm going to go just tend to her needs instead of my own. That was not going on in my 8-year-old brain. My 8-year-old brain was just like, Mom's sad. How do I help Mom? Right? How do I comfort my mother? Yeah. And now as an adult, I get to bring that to myself. How do I comfort myself? How do I hold myself? How do I let myself be sad?
Yeah.
How do I let myself just feel all the things? Because that isn't that allowance, that permission, an allowance, like everything is okay. Like we can't have the fullness of joy and condemn our grief. You just you can't. Like, and I'm not saying you have to stay in grief, but a willingness to feel whatever comes up and not judge, and like be with the feel. For me, it was like, oh, I don't want to like give myself into the sadness or the grief or whatever in my previous relationship. I mean, all the back and forth and all I didn't want to give myself because I didn't want to stay in there, but I was just like, it was just what was coming up for me. So I just threw myself into it. And I think that I threw myself into it because it was a representation of all those suppressed, those times where I suppressed myself. Don't be the little queer kid. Don't be the little, don't cause trouble. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like the 14 years with the wife. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So the antidote to suppression is permission. Just permitting. But I really love what you said about the gentleness, because it doesn't come naturally to a lot of people, particularly men, particularly children of military. We're like, gentle. What is that? Could you? But the truth is, I am I'm gentle with others. And so it's about giving myself that same
self-love.
Self-love, yeah.
Because ultimately, how you treat yourself is really how you're treating others.
Yeah. Yep.
And, and I just honor that your journey so much. Your journey has been such an incredible story, and I'm so glad that you share it so freely with everyone and that you express yourself so openly, because I know a lot of people learn from your story.
How
You know,
has it
so
influenced you,
many.
Jenny?
How has it
How has
influenced me?
Case's story influenced you since you've known each other for so many years? You've watched him go through, a
Mm.
lot of his journey.
The thing that shows up for me so much with him, and what has influenced me so much, is the lightness, the laughter, but the truth of, he will say it, anything. You will just say it. Like, you don't hold back on, you're not trying to show somebody a certain side of you anymore. Like, you're really like, this is who I am. This is what, like, you throw it all out there. You don't hide any parts of you. He doesn't hide any parts of him, which I don't see that in many people. Like, if anyone on here wants to laugh and see somebody fully throw it out there, good, you need to follow Case, because Case doesn't hold back, and he has so much courage and just openness, and like, what does it matter? I just am who I am, and I love that, because I didn't grow up feeling like that I could be that necessarily. Like, we had a controlled environment in terms of, like, Catholicism was our bubble. We lived in a bubble of Catholicism.
We lived
And
off of guilt. Like
and
guilt
and,
was
and guilt was huge, and that we
huge.
need to present ourselves a certain way and be a certain way. We have to show who we have to be this, and maybe we're not that inside.
And
You
shame
know,
on you if you're not.
Right.
shame on you.
Mm.
Can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Shame on you. Shame on you. What? Like, that term? Like, who said? Do
That
we
is
know
like
what
a
that really is
curse.
saying?
It is. It is
Do
a
we really
curse.
understand what that is? I mean, shame on you to say those words. Think about those words.
Yeah.
If anyone uses those words, really, really think about that. Really, really say what you are throwing out there to someone else. Wow.
Yeah.
So
It's like you're putting a brick on them. Like if you're bearing a brick on their shoulders. That now that you just said, here, carry this shame with you.
throw it out. Like, yeah.
But I would also like to say thank you for that. And you are someone who also holds the space for others to be authentic.
Yes, she is. Excellent.
I am learning more how to be how I am with you across the board. So I am not always as myself with everyone as I am with you. And so that, in a large part, and this is why I appreciate people like you and my relationships with people like you, because they are indicators of how I want to feel in relationship. Friends, otherwise, it doesn't matter. Friend, business, whatever. I want like fun and connection and joy and authenticity and like all the things that you and I have. Like, yes, I want that all the time. And so that for me, part of taking honest inventory of like, you can't have that with everyone.
Right.
You can't. Like, scripture says, love your neighbor as yourself. It doesn't say be in relationship with your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right. So like, cause we can't, there's 8 billion people on the planet. We can't possibly be in relationship. We can love them and say like, okay, you're going to go do your thing. Thank you. And you're going to learn, you're going to do whatever. And like, we all do. And so for me, it's about like giving myself permission, but also, surrounding myself with people where that's okay. Because you're not a judgmental person. Right. So some people who are like, they gossip, they judge, they do like, they're not I don't need to be around that.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not the same freedom around them. I mean, yes, it's kind of, it's a balancing act, right? So I just wanted to like acknowledge your part in my authentic self-expression.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that, you know? I mean, I see you the way I see you. I get to experience you in this certain way. And I feel like you're like that all the time with everybody. But yeah, you can't, not as what Brene Brown talks about that. Not everybody deserves your vulnerability. It's not okay to be vulnerable with everybody.
Right. And I would say if someone is having the experience of relationships around them that are not fun and enlivening and authentic and connected and loving, they need to look at areas in their own life where they're being judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yes.
they're not establishing themselves as a safe place for others to feel at home.
Oh, that's so big. Can we go a little deeper into judgment? Because I love talking about this. It's so important. You go. I want you to share about this because I can talk all day about that. I want you to talk about.
I also think you delivered that explanation about how you feel around Jenny very well. Very well.
Well, I value Jenny and people like Jenny. Obviously there's no one else like any of us, but like
correct.
People who have done the work are different than people who haven't done the work. People who haven't done the work, there's nothing wrong. They're just the popcorn kernel. The heat just turned on. They may pop, they may not pop. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this constant like feeling like we have to walk on eggshells is not a safe relationship space. Friend, coworker, client, lover, whatever, not safe. So it's about how do you establish safety within yourself and drop the judgment to yourself.
Yes. Safe.
Like
safe.
it's so like whatever you do to others, you do to yourself. But you like it has to start with self.
So when you see somebody judging someone else, what does that mean to you? If someone's like, "Oh, I don't like,"
it's all a projection. Everything. It's all a projection.
Yes.
It's all a projection. So I know that they're just judging themselves.
Exactly.
And they're projecting because it's easier to judge someone else and judge yourself. It's easier to point out weaknesses in other people than look. I mean, scriptures talk about this. I think it's in the book of James where it's like, why do you point out the speck in your brother's eye when you got a plank coming out of yours? You know, I totally get that. I'm like, hello, you have a plank. Do you not see the plank coming out of your eyeball right now? And you're bitching about bro's speck. Seriously? But then I took all that on myself. And I'm like, who am I judging? What am I saying? They need to be, they need to do. Why aren't they doing this? Why they should be? But then like, where's my plank? I'm like, oh shit, I got a plank? Where's my plank?
Yes.
Everybody's got a plank. I think everybody's got a plank.
Yes, of course. I mean, we are here in these bodies, in this life, because we have work to do. We're not free. If we were fully free, we wouldn't need to incarnate.
No.
Or we would be like Jesus or Buddha who, chose to incarnate to help us. But they're far and few between.
I'm actually a mirage right now. I don't exist. I have fractalized. I'm enlightened now. No, I know what you're saying. It's like, yes, we're still here. There's still work to do. From my perspective, it's like, wow, it's so easy to be judgmental.
But it's so
it doesn't feel good though. It doesn't feel good. And being around it feels yucky. Like, ugh.
It's
the
like
energy.
Being that person. Have you familiar with the story of the Good Samaritan?
Mm-hmm.
Like they walked past, all these people kept walking past this guy. He was beaten up, and and finally the dude stopped and he tended to his wounds and he bought a room for him and took care of him. The essence of that story though is missed a lot because the guy who helped him, it was a cultural thing it was like Samaria and wherever, Judea or something. Like you weren't allowed to socialize with this particular group. Mm-hmm. And so the guy who helped him, technically his religion said he wasn't allowed. And so the highest religion is love, right? So this is even exemplified in scriptures. I don't even know how many millions of
I love that
times,
you said that.
right? So it's like doing the most loving thing. And also, it's like, for me, it's like there are people getting beaten up. So how to stop the madness, how to stop the, the beat up,
Mm-hmm. You can't. No.
is the thing. It's like I try and just do the best that I can in each and every day and not get overwhelmed. I'm a highly sensitive person, so I can get overwhelmed pretty easily. If I look at the news, I have to be very mindful of what I ingest, and just say, I'm doing my best today.
Mm.
And I trust that, there's that part of me that wants to go into all these Southern Baptist churches and flip the tables. And also see ways in which that is a metaphor. When Christ went into the synagogue and he's like, "Get out of here, you den of thieves."
Mm-hmm.
That to me is also a mental opportunity, a metaphor for me to flip. There will always be like, what am I giving into? The thieves. I also think like the on the cross, on Christ is in the middle, and there were two thieves. There were three crosses.
Mm-hmm.
One to me was a thief that represents the past. So regretting the past, shoulda, woulda,
Mm.
coulda, that will
Yeah.
rob me of joy and peace in the present. And then the other thief on the other side was fretting about the future,
Mm-hmm.
worrying about the future, this timeline that we're on that doesn't even exist because time doesn't exist. So Christ is in the middle, the center,
Yep.
Christ consciousness, love, whatever you want to call it. He said, "Meet me in paradise today." He wasn't like
Yep.
later. So to me, that's what I come back to, this like, okay, no more thieving. I'm not going to thief myself of my own joy and
Yep.
my own peace.
Yes. Amen to that. It is all
Mhm.
about being here now, centered in the moment, choosing how you think and feel and act. It's choice.
Yeah.
Grace is a
Get
big
back on
one.
power.
Grace,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
for imperfections and making mistakes and all that, it's just, oh.
Yeah.
Can we step back for a second? I would
Mm.
love to hear about your new book that's coming.
Mm.
Shrink for No One. Can you talk about that?
Think for no one, how to quit playing small and live a
Mm.
life you love. So there are
Mm.
12 principles of reinvention that I go into because I'm a master of reinvention. And I'm also a creator. Like, okay, what do you want to create? What do you want to launch? What do you want to do? What do you want to, and also this notion of like not putting ourselves into a cage, someone else's cage of limitation.
Mm.
So it's about coming out of whatever closet of fear, closet of preconceived notion, an idea that says you have to be, do, have something other than whatever it is that's on your heart to create or to do. Coming out of dependencies, the things that I've done with different substance abuse disorders, different toxic relationships, coming out of 9 to 5, starting a business, writing a book, any of these reinvention things will help anyone who feels stuck loosen themselves, free themselves, and drop into their most authentic self-expression.
Mm.
Wow.
And just
Gosh.
create whatever's on their heart to create. Like, just because they're here, I mean, you have one life. We have one
Well,
life. Like, it's
well.
cute how our parents were like, "No, create our lives. Create my life again and again and again and again." I'm like, "No, how about not that?" Thanks, Mom. But no, I'm going to do this over here. So yeah,
Woo.
that was the common theme that I found of like, okay, this willingness to play smaller, this fear or this illusion that we have to be anything other than who we are.
Mm. It's so big.
So, there's guiding principles of ways that we can, and kind of the practices and all these, kind of different modalities and dance and breath work and meditation and movement and burning stuff. And I'm very much into the elements. And so there's air stuff, water stuff, fire stuff, spirit stuff. They're all kind of tools in the toolbox of authentically creating whatever it is you want to create or move from or do or be. Everybody's kind of different, but I've noticed the common theme with all my clients, or there's always a creative theme. We all want to create something, and that's it. Like, it's just a creative theme. They've crossed industries, genders, orientations. There's everybody just wants to create, and I'm like, oh well, that makes sense because I like creating, so let's just do more of that and not create from a space of inauthenticity. Not create because there's a market opportunity. Like,
right.
It doesn't matter. Like, if you're creating from your heart, you are the market opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And like, there's no scarcity in heart-based creation.
Yeah.
Like,
so
oh no,
when can we get our hands on this book?
Oh my gosh. I just committed to get it finished in 12 weeks.
Okay.
So I will.
So by the end of the year,
there will be.
Sure.
I've got a big. I'm starting that 8-week stage leader thing, and that's part of redoing my website, getting all the things done, and getting the book done. And so I have the book, which is going to which will feed a lot of my one-on-one clients, and then I also have what I'm calling the Happy Quitter Club. And so that's the community space for anybody who wants to quit the things that no longer serve them and start something new that does. So there'll be kind of like a community space of happy quitting, because I'm like, I'm not against the 12 steps for whatever it is you want to quit or whatever it is you want to do, but like, I want to feel like happy about it. I don't want to like feel like, oh, like this. I'm personally coming out of deprivation addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So coming out of this deprivation of like, oh, no. It's again, it's the thimble to the ocean metaphor. It's like, no.
I love the happy quitting title.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the happy quitting title. Put the word happy in front of anything, and I'm listening.
It's like we're told so many times, like, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. And it's like, yes, be persistent. And there is wisdom in knowing when to fold them.
Yeah.
There's wisdom in knowing what no longer serves you.
Oh,
totally.
It's like the thing that keeps us healthy. Amniotic fluid kept us healthy, and then at a certain point we get too big, it turns toxic because we're swimming in our own shit. Pardon my language.
Yeah.
It
makes me think of when
quitting is not bad.
Yeah, when I got divorced, people would say they would find out I got divorced. Oh, like, especially when it's recent. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I'd be like, why? It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, people instantly go to, because it's like a failure, right? Like, you failed your marriage. No, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me that I went through all the lessons. It's hard to see that in the moment, but it is. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. So, I can relate.
100%.
Yeah.
Case, I want to play a little game with you.
I have my sister soul session. My daughter did that. I don't have a sister session mug, but this is my daughter's artwork.
Oh my gosh, that's
painted
so
in
cool.
She painted in 3rd grade.
She's so good. Oh,
wow.
That's so gorgeous.
She's my little angel.
Aww.
So she's the female representation for me here in the mug club. Okay, what's the game?
10 rapid fire questions for Case.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you can feel free to elaborate on your answers. You don't have to just make it one word if you don't want. Just kind of conversation starters. All right. Case, what's your spirit animal?
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say dragonfly, but grasshopper was the first word that came to mind. I never would have thought grasshopper because I think dragonfly, but maybe it's grasshopper today.
Oh my gosh, I love
You
that you
think you're
said
feeling
today.
Oh yes, grasshopper.
Okay, Case, mountains or ocean?
Ocean.
I can answer these for him. Go ahead.
If you could, I know what you're gonna say here. If you could time travel, past or future, or maybe you don't know. That's assuming. I don't know.
What? Oh, if I could, which a past or future, if I could time travel. Oh, well, I do time travel. And definitely future.
Okay. You do you have
Hawaii.
a go-to hype song before you like speak, public speaking, like a go-to
Mm.
song that makes you feel like hype?
I dance. I dance every morning. I have a playlist. This morning was John Baptiste Freedom.
Ooh,
Do you know that song?
Nice.
You look it up.
I don't.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I hadn't, but like I have a laundry. I'm like Mountain by Sam Ryder is another good one. Um, that's a really good one. Have you heard of that one? I'm a Mountain
I
by Sam
don't.
Ryder. Oh,
what
that's a
is it?
good one. And then another one. It's Sam Ryder, Ryder, and it's I think it's just called Mountain. Uh, Mountain, yeah, that one. And
Cool.
then yeah, I have a lot. I'm a big dancer. John Baptiste, not Baptiste, but Baptiste Freedom. And
Uh-huh.
then another one, which I'm not ashamed to say, it's a 90s Christian boy band.
Love it.
Leave it to me to be like a boy band fan in the 90s
Of
because
course.
I was like deep into like youth group and all that stuff. Um, Plus one written on my heart, which is really cute. Your love is written on my heart. That's my other favorite.
That's cute. So, next question. Favorite comfort ritual, would that be meditation, movement, or music?
Music. Well, I say swimming in the river. Water,
Oh,
river.
love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
First thing you do in the morning.
Gosh, I mean, other than get out of the bed, go to the bathroom, get the usual boring stuff. Get out of bed, go to the bathroom, get coffee, read, do my reading, meditation,
I
all the
don't think
things.
any of that sounds boring. I love my mornings, my early
Yeah,
mornings. Love it.
same.
Okay, if you weren't doing the work that you're doing now, what would you be doing?
Hmm.
I cannot imagine. It's so hard for me to. I'm like, what? I can't. I used to want to be on SNL, but now I'm like, no, like the trajectory that that's involved with. I'm like, no, I know it's like I've gone through too much. Like I can still be the entertainer, but I'm like, because I'm like I'm doing it, so it's like I don't even know how to answer that, Susie.
Okay, well, I think you did.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One word to describe your energy today.
Hopeful.
Hmm. Nice.
Okay. Who would
Love
your
it.
dream guest to share the stage with?
Mm, Tina Fey.
Good one. Hmm. Cool.
All right,
That's a
and
great
then
one.
we would like to know what is always in your bag.
Always in my bed.
In your bag?
In your bag, and that could be like hypothetical. Like, what do you always have with you?
I thought you said bed like BED. I was like,
No, I definitely did
pillows?
not. Pillows.
No one.
Oh, no, let's keep it happy. What's always in your bag?
Tell us all the people who are missing from your bed, Case. What's in my bag? Oh my gosh, my bag of tricks.
Yeah, like what do you always keep in your back pocket? Like even hypothetically.
Mm, gosh. That's an interesting one. What's coming up for me is can I say willingness to entertain?
Yes,
Oh, that's 100% always in your bag.
of course. Yes.
That's always there.
Always.
Always. That is a perfect answer. That is exactly right.
Jenny, what's always in your bag?
Oh gosh, a willingness to help,
Hmm.
to serve whoever's in front of me, however I can.
I'm gonna be like, oh well, entertainment is service.
It is.
It is.
It absolutely is.
100% it is, because we need an escape. You're preaching to the choir here. Entertainment is definitely service because people need an escape. They need to stop thinking about their lives, even if it's for 2 hours, something that brings them joy. They go to a Broadway show, they go whatever. They just get to step out of reality and just enjoy. Be in joy.
Yeah. I've been leaning into providing cosmic relief.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I can imagine what that could mean in many different ways.
It is comic relief, but I also am like, I bring it to like some, Chat GPT is currently calling me a spiritual cruise director.
I can totally see.
So I think that kind of sums it up. Like, what
That
are you?
is
I'm a
so
spiritual
true.
cruise director. Like, what is that? Like, it just come along, just hop along my ship. You'll find out soon enough.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
I think there are so many beautiful ways to describe you, Case. And this conversation today has been so fun. And I really can't wait for our listeners to meet you. I'm so excited about this episode. It was really a good time. We laughed a lot, a lot. And I love the way that you view life. It really is lovely to listen to your metaphors and the way that you talk about different situations that you've been in. And the way you describe things, it's kind of very, it's not kind of, it is very unique. So thank you for sharing all of that with us today. And what I want to do is tell our listeners, I know that you can find Case's first book on Amazon coming out by going in, and his second book that is coming, Shrink for No One. Please stay in touch with us, and we'll even put an announcement out if you can share that with us. We'll put it up on Sister Sessions where and when it's available. But in the meantime, how can people find you?
It's just Case Erickson, CaseErickson, CaseErickson.com, or Case on that same thing on all this on the socials.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
TikTok is
highly recommend
videos, but I do dance videos on TikTok, a lot of writing on Facebook, and then kind of a hybrid on Instagram. So depending on what you're into, that's what you get. 3 versions of me. Never ask a Gemini to be one single thing.
That's so right. So true.
Yes.
They're all fantastic.
Well, Jenny, you were gonna. There was a thing. You had a thing. You were starting to.
I did have a thing, and I forget the thing.
It's gone. It's over. Okay.
It might be gone. Oh, here it is. The thing is, I want to kind of sum this up for a moment of what we just experienced here with Case. And as the listeners need to hear is that Case's story is powerful and unique, of course, to him. But I can guarantee if you really listen to this, maybe even go back and listen to it again, you can relate in many ways because we all experience some trauma in our lives. Many of us have experienced religious trauma and suppression and emotional suppression. And it is vital for us as humans to move through that energy. And I think that's a really empowering, important message that you shared about moving out the energy, right? To not keep it, not hold on to regret or anger from the either person or entity group that have traumatized
it's
your
forgiving
energy.
the abuser.
It's huge. So I think that's so powerful and needs to be kind of summed up in a way, because there's so much to you. You have a lot of depth to who you are, and there's so many tidbits there and nuggets of wisdom that you share just by being you. And I just love that so much, because I can sit and listen to you and I'm like, oh yeah. And I can hear how much you get it. You get it. And not everybody gets it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to you, is because we can talk in these deep ways and get it from a lighthearted place. Not so serious and like, yeah, but actually like lighthearted about it. Like the laughing about the trauma almost in a way, because you've done so much work. You can't do that right away. This is a product of work. Everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
He is a product of the work.
Yes.
So you
got to turn all the judgments around. Like turn all the I mean, like that's been my biggest, the biggest kind of like aha for me is a willingness to turn the judgment around. Like it's like a willingness to turn it around.
Yes.
And ask. Huge. I mean, like I even had it because you mentioned getting it, and like a lot of times in my previous relationship, I'd be like, he doesn't get it, he doesn't get it, he doesn't get it, and then God would be like, are you sure he's the one who's not getting it? Are you sure he's the one who's not getting it? Are you sure he's the common denominator of your life?
Oh my gosh.
It's like, we don't want to take responsibility.
Right.
We have this like default to like, it's the victim thing that doesn't want to take responsibility, because if we take responsibility, then, who's responsible for my life? Oh, me. But anyway, yeah.
Well, you are a shining example. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for accepting this invitation to be our guest. And we would love to have you back.
Yeah.
We would love to have you back. Absolutely.
Once your book comes out, you got to come back on.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
That would be so fun. So it's a date. We're definitely going to do it. So everyone, thank you so much for listening with us today. Thank you for following Sister Sessions. Please subscribe below if you love what you heard, and share it with your friends. And if you have any great comments for Case, drop those comments. We'd love to hear from you.
All is well.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Sister Sessions podcast. If you found inspiration in today's conversation, we'd love it if you shared the episode with your besties, family, or even your favorite neighbors. We'll be back next week with more to share, but until then, remember, meditation is the key to unlocking your inner peace. All is well, friends. See you soon.